This is probably what you've all been waiting for. How does this thing perform? Now, bear in mind, this is as it came. I haven't changed. I don't think I've changed anything. It's still got the same hot rubber. It's still got the same barrel. It's not a gun that we can put a Titan in because it's a different hop unit, but we could fit, a TM hop unit and put a Flamingo and a Titan in. So, just catching my breath here because I'm doing a lot of videos and running about today. Could this gun shoot better than what you're about to see? 100% it could. Am I going to upgrade the hop and barrel? Yes, I am. I'm going to be putting a Flamingo in there. I'm going to be putting a Lilacs barrel in there just to tighten that group up a little bit. Now, how did I get on with this gun? Very well. This thing slaps. It's such a delight to shoot. The trigger impulse is good. The kickback is very strong, quite surprisingly strong, to the point where, it's about as hard as you'd probably want one of these to kick. I did struggle a little bit because I was using, I planned to use an EOTech, but forgot the batteries for it. So I'm kind of just trying to look through the sight to where the rounds are going. I could not see where the rounds are going, so I just tried to do my best when I put the camera on the front of the gun. I first started on 0.3s, and then I was struggling with setting the hop. So I'd either under hop or over hop, and I was like, and that's when I decided to switch to 0.4s for the tests on all of these guns. Switched to 0.4s. I did have issues with PMags, and I tightened up all the screws in the bottom of the PMags the night before, which was a pain in the arse. Made sure there's a bit of gas in them. Come to them next morning, they're all empty. They've leaked again. GM PMags, I'm sorry, they're just plagued with leaking issues. Mine have been okay up till now, but after having them for a year or whatever I've had them, they're just not dependable magazines. They work, they're the best PMag, I'm very much certain of that. But I think there's got to be something that I need to do to just squash this leaking issue once and for all. And I think that's taking out those screwed in base plates, probably gasket sealing the crap out of it, and then thread locking the screws just to really hold that thing in place, because it's getting to the point where the PMags are really pissing me off. Now, I switched to the TM mags for the rest of the day, and this thing was awesome. It really, really was. Now, it was a really hot day. I did do some full auto, only in bursts, and it seemed to work. There was a couple of times where I was doing bursts of auto and the bolts come back, and then the nozzle, the feed ramp on the nozzle, instead of stripping the round off the top of the magazine, actually managed to like wedge itself up on top of it, and you get a malfunction that looked like this where the bolt's stuck. So you take the mag out, rack it, make sure there's no round in there. There's not. Put the mag in, wrap the bolt again, and you're good to go. Now, having used this on a range day, that ambi bolt release is probably one of the best features on the gun. So much so that I'm manipulating the rifle because I can use my trigger hand. So, I'm coming up to shoot, I can use my trigger hand to lock the bolt back like that. I always tend to do it this way, put the mag in, and it's just to stop you slapping a mag in that's too overfilled and damaging your feeding, the loading part of the nozzle. So after playing with this on the range with that ambi bolt release, as much as I love the Spear LT from Toxicant, it just having that feature missing on the Spear LT like annoyed me. Like that I was having to sort of change the way I was manipulating the rifle, come back and press this side. It's a great feature. It works so well on this gun. So how did we do performance wise? Well, we're going to get to that in just a moment. I was using 0.4s, we're shooting at a dual, and I think the performance was pretty good. Bear in mind, you've got to just take into consideration, guys, and you're going to bounce around the comments even though I've told you, I could not see where I was shooting. It's very, very bright. Using white BBs on a background that's quite bright, I was just having to do my best, so just bear with me on that. But the first, second and third targets were fine. The fourth target, it was reaching the target, and it was reaching far past that target. So I've got no shadow of a doubt with one of these. You could hit someone at 60, 70 odd meters away. Accurately, not most of the time, but can it do it? Yes. I think we get the accuracy down by changing the barrel out, because I run the Lilacs MWS barrels in a lot of my MWSs, and I love the barrels. They're very good, 6.03s. So I think this gun needs it, and that's probably what I'll be doing next. Stripping the barrel out, putting a barrel in. I've literally found one that I've on the side the other day. I was like, oh shit, I've got a barrel, don't need to order one. So barrel, Flamingo hot rubber, I've had a couple of them from Kenny, so that'll go in as well. And then I'll just have to modify a Titan by clipping the two wings off and just running it without the stability of a normal hot rubber. And I think then we're going to be performing even better. But let's get to the footage. There's a bit of like burst of full auto in there as well, so you can see it. So let's get to that, and I'll be back on camera just after. So yeah, we're not doing too bad. Now, you've got to remember, the Spear LT has some upgrade parts, barrel and hop-wise. This is as it is out the box. Yes, I could fine-tune the hop a little bit better. It probably needs some more rounds through it. It's not going to stay in its standard form, because, like I said, I put nice barrels in, I put nice hot rubbers in. I know the Flamingo hot rubbers are phenomenal in the MWS series, so this is going to get better. I would also go as far to say that this is going to get better if you kept the standard setup, just getting a couple more mags through it, just getting everything nice and sort of settled in place. The performance is going to be better, but even so, you're going to be hitting people at long distance with this thing. Yeah, you're maybe going to be putting a few more rounds down. I am using a red dot. If you're using like a low-powered variable optic or something like that, something with a bit of magnification on it, you'd do even better, because literally I just could not see where I was shooting. Now, if you look closely, you'll see I'm reaching the distance. I am struggling now. I have to keep saying it, because as people jump down in the comments and go, oh, the accuracy's awful. It's probably more me than the rifle. It would have shot better if I was firing from a fixed position with a magnified optic. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm just trying to get the details across just so you have more of an informed video. So an LPV on this would absolutely, change the rifle, or even like an ACOG or something. But let's get into some more footage. My aim is completely off here, so you'll see the rounds much higher than the target. I thought I was aiming where I should be. I wasn't. But you can see the range on this thing. The range with a .4 at 1 joule is just phenomenal. Like, it's where you want to be at with this rifle. I think using anything less than a .4 in MWSs nowadays is probably... You could use 3s, 3.2s, 3.6s. Use what you've got. But I think if you can stretch to that extra bit and go to a .4, I think the gun does warrant it. So we'll carry on the footage now. I think there's some bits of full auto coming up, so I'll let the footage speak for itself, and then we'll get back on camera.
how is it that I was more accurate with full auto? I mean, it's so satisfying just doing that quick dat burst, 3 or 4 round burst, and you get those satisfying dings off those metal targets. It's such great feedback. If you can't see your BBs, to know that you're hitting the targets.
0.4 gram BBs, bog standard GM416, propane running at 1 joule, and I couldn't see where I was shooting, and I don't think I did too damn bad. Like, that is a 25mm lens on that camera. It's not like what you're seeing is what I'm seeing. It's zoomed in. It's the targets. I can't verify them, which I always say, if I can't verify it, I'm not going to claim I've hit a target 70 plus meters away, because I can't. That end target was roughly about 60 odd meters away, I'm guessing. I've been shooting guns for a while. I've done a lot of verified range tests with rangefinders and such, so I kind of have a good guess. It's somewhere between 50 and 60. I would say it's close to 60. The BBs were going far past that target, so more range than you'd ever need for a rifle like this in airsoft. Full auto seemed to work okay in bursts. There's a couple of like those misfeeds, like I say, where the nozzle goes up above the mag instead of stripping the round out. But apart from that, it ran good. It was a delight to shoot. It was comfortable. I'd probably want to put like a low-powered variable optic on here instead of a red dot, just so I can see at long distance. So I might get another primary arm scope and put that on there and see how I cope with that. Strip the laser device off and have at it. So I hope this has answered any questions. I don't know what the issue is with full auto. Perhaps I've just ran it in a bit now and it's sort of loosening up. I think it's probably something to do with how loose the bolt is in the upper. It can't help, of course. There's a friend of mine who's got one who said he's fitted a different buffer, and he said that made the gun a lot better. It could just be the humidity, the temperature. I really don't know. It's going to require a lot more testing and swapping out parts and seeing if anything gets fixed. But for a skirmish, I think out the box, I think it's perfect. If you're running an MWS or a gas blowback rifle, you're not going to be doing a lot of full auto anyway. Save that for the SMGs. Yes, it is nice to have that function to put a burst out. Of course it is. But you're just wasting ammo, in my opinion. A lot of my MWSs shoot full auto. Do I ever use it? No. The only gas blowback rifle that I really use full auto in is the TM-AKM, and that thing, I swear, is just built for it. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know if these range tests, if you've enjoyed them, because if you do, it spurs me on to do more. Thurlaston's not a short journey for me. It's probably like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to get there. But there's nowhere close that I've found to the Midlands so far. Check out the links in the description. And as always, from me and from Bench, we'll see you in the next one.